What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Brickanics. I am excited because today I am starting a new MOC series here on the channel. I'm going to be building my largest MOC yet. I thought I was going to stick to two base plates, two 48 by 48 base plates, but this build and seeing this scene and how I want to build it, I just don't see how it could be any smaller than four base plates, four 48 by 48 base plates. And the planet that I'm building is Yerbana. Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 9, 501st, led by Anakin Skywalker, 212th, led by Obi-Wan Kenobi against the Separatists. Yerbana and why Yerbana? Actually, it's a pretty cool little story. I have been building up my 501st collection, as everybody has, because of the battle pack, right? And so I have several of the 501st. I actually recently purchased a custom Captain Rex from Clone Army Customs, so I love that minifigure, and I've been wanting to get them into a MOC. I just haven't known what the planet is that I wanted to do. And I reached out to Coconut Brick Studios, just, in a casual conversation. I was like, hey, do you have any suggestions or any ideas for a planet that I could build a MOC for my 501st Clone Troopers? And he actually suggested Yerbana. And so I did some research on it, and I was like, you know what? That planet matches the bricks that I have, the color scheme of the bricks that I have, which is dark tan, dark bluish gray, olive, green, the Star Wars colors. So yeah, I was like, you know what? That looks awesome. I'm all in. I watched the episode and I started doing some research on the planet, looking at various pictures. Now, I have seen some Yerbana MOCs made already, but most of the MOCs that I've seen focus on the bridge and the battle that took place on the bridge, which makes sense because that's what happened. But when I look at this picture, I see so much more opportunity on the left side of this picture, more to do with the city. And I'm just kind of really interested in this city. And kind of like the unfortunate thing about Yerbana, but yet still the cool thing about Yerbana, is there's not a whole lot of information on it. Like, there's not a whole lot. You just don't know much about the planet itself outside of the battle that took place, because it's only appeared once, to my knowledge, in the Star Wars universe in Season 7, Episode 9 of the Clone Wars, and there's not much else on it. If you have additional information on Yerbana, like who inhabited the planet, anything about the culture, anything to do with the architecture outside of what we can see in this picture, I'd love to learn more. But I'm going to focus on this section right here, which is going to be a nice little mix between kind of outer edge city, more urban area, and a bit of, the mountain kind of range, and a bit of this plains. And what I kind of plan on doing is I'm going to have a mix of modern meets kind of old ancient type of architecture, because when I look at the buildings in this city, they have a pyramid shape to them, which tells me that they're a little bit more on the older side as far as advancement in how they built their cities, taking more of a pyramid type shape. So I think there would be some kind of older, more ancient type of feel, more like bricks and rocks and things like that. But obviously we're in the Star Wars universe, so I want to mix in some more modern elements as well, so it should be a nice blend. But the battle scene that I'm going to make between the 501st and the Separatist, the droids, is going to be an urban warfare, and we're going to have like street to street, door to door battle taking place in this kind of urban setting. So I think that's going to be really cool looking. So if you want to follow this series, because it's going to take, I don't know, it's a pretty large MOC, it's going to take me a while to build. So if you want to follow this build series, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I would absolutely love if you came along for the journey of building this MOC. I'm gonna need your help, right? I'm gonna be looking for some opinions on things. So I think it's going to be really, really cool. All right, I think I've talked enough about what I'm going to do. I think I'm ready to do it. So let's get building. So yeah, guys, like I said, this is gonna be 4 of these 48 by 48 base plates. Definitely bigger than my Imperial bunker on Endor MOC, which if you haven't seen that MOC, I'll put a link to it down in the description and also at the end of this video. I've already begun prototyping a little bit here on the cliff face. I'm not gonna make it super high because I don't wanna have to buy all that filler brick, to go up this high. So we're just gonna make the cliff, about this high and then focus on the terrain here. Over here is gonna be a little bit of a mountain. In this area here is where we're gonna have our buildings, and then we're gonna have some plains over here. If I wanted, I don't think I will, but if I wanted, I'm gonna leave the opportunity to build that bridge over here on 2 additional base plates, but I don't think I will, but we'll see how this series progresses. Maybe I do. But yeah, we're gonna have the cliff face, kind of a jagged cliff here, buildings, mountain, plains, urban warfare battle taking place in the outskirts of this Yerbana city. All right, I'm actually going to tear this down. This was just a prototype to get an idea of what I was looking at. I wanna make it more straight and a little less detailed, so it feels more like a cliff front. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this down and start working on the cliff face here. All right, I think I finally came up with my base pattern or technique that I'm gonna use for this cliff face. Is gonna run all the way across 2 48 by 48 base plates. And I'll show you one of the things that I'm gonna be doing here. So I'm gonna be using a snot technique here on some of it. And what I wanna do first is put a tile down. And then I wanna put a 1x2 plate down. And I do that because this modified brick here, which is the snot brick, you have to raise it up above this tile if you want your element to lay flush against it like that. So I think it's gonna look pretty good. I've got one over here as well, and I'll be using this kind of throughout this cliff face. So let's go ahead and continue building down the cliff. pretty happy that we were able to finish this cliff face here in the first episode. I think it's looking pretty good overall. I really like the use of these pieces here. And I like this sideways technique in general, especially for something like this, where I'm not trying to be overly detailed on this cliff face. And, but I still want it to look like a cliff. And I wanted it to stand tall, so I didn't want to be overly detailed, but I wanted it to have enough detail that it still looked pretty cool. So that's a good start. What we're gonna do now is start filling it in with all the filler brick and build it up so we can plate it out, and then we can start building on top of this. All right, so all in all, I think it was a pretty productive episode. I really just wanted to explain to you what the MOC was going to be and what the vision for the MOC was. I haven't come up with a name for the series yet. I'm thinking the Urban War of Yerbana. I think that would be pretty cool, but I might think of something else between now in the next series. If you have any ideas of what you think a good name for this would be based on what I've told you so far, drop it down in the comments and I'll certainly consider it. And I'm excited for this MOC. I'm really excited because there's just so much freedom to create, my vision for what this area of Yerbana would look like and how this battle would unfold. So I'm excited to get building on that, and I'm excited to have you as part of the journey. So if you're not subscribed to the channel and you want to follow along in this series, please consider subscribing. And other than that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.